Okay, so I'm having to do some work in the mechanical room. I don't even know. My husband may feel the same way about coming into my space. I'm like, how in the hell does this man function like this? How? How? God help me. God help me. I already took the panel off right here. And I'm like, first off, I'm working around a chainsaw. It took me 30 minutes to find a tool. Guess where I found that tool? The one simple tool I needed. Outside. In the snow. Not in here where you would think it would be. Anyway, let me get set up. And we'll keep going through this. Part of the problem is I'm not getting 220 volts. I'm only getting 120 volts in the inverter. So I'm going through and I'm checking the connections here through the generator. Making sure I got some good tight connections in the U1, U2, V1, and V2. Then I'll turn the generator back on. Check and see if we're throwing 220 volts through the inverter. And if we are, then I know it was a connection problem. And if it is not, then we move on to the next troubleshooting. So I have this fear of touching anything like this. What if it's like... zaps me like electronic, like a battery, and I touch it and it's electric conduit and it goes and it gives me a perm or worse. Oh, that one's pretty loose. I was wearing my wedding ring once and reached down and unplugged something, and when I did, it shocked me. And it burned the hell out of my hand. Even caused some damage to my wedding ring. And when it, boy, it gave me some tachycardia. Burned the skin. It was quite crazy. Alright. I tightened up a few things. It's going to get quite loud, just so you know. I was insured. I don't have to put the cover back on this to try it. Let me flip the switch one more time. Here we go. Just so you know, if I squeal like a girl, it's because it always scares the heck out of me when it starts. Oh. Here we go. Got the screwdriver in my hand. I don't think I left any important parts in there. It's about 24, 26 degrees today. The sun is shining. She's beautiful. Still a lot of snow, as you very well can see. I graded the driveway going out. I didn't have any problem getting out. So I post on the little community thing. One of the neighbors was stuck in her driveway. Knew I couldn't go get her out, so I volunteered to go do her fetching. Needs to say, one of the other superhero neighbors did some Batman moves in his old pickup and got her out, and it was fabulous. And anyway, so I didn't have to do any fetching because she was free. So then I get stuck three times trying to get back in my driveway, and I was like, this is ridiculous. It was just crazy. But the neighbor was going to come do some superhero moves with me too, but he ended up not having to. I managed to get back up the driveway. It took some butt puckering, but I managed it. Other than that, hadn't managed much of anything productive as far as schoolwork goes. Been having issue after issue being off grid. You can hear the generator running. Good Lord, I'm about ready to throw Big Blue just out the door, but somehow I know I'm gonna still need him. Got up on top, if you can believe it. I got on top and cleared off the solar panels. That's not something I'm comfortable with. I called the neighbor and said, hey, you're my point of contact. I'm going up. And she's like, no, don't do it. I'll come do it. I was like, I got stuck in the driveway 3 times trying to get up here. And she lives down the hill. And she's like, no. And I was like, no, we're not your responsibility. I'm going up. I'll have it done before you get here. And she's like, no, do you think this is a good thing? And I was like, no, I know it's not a good thing, but I'm gonna do it. I'll call you when I get down. That's hard work. I could hear the sizzling, so I was like, it's charging. And then of course, you know, the reason I did it is because the generator overheated. And I was like, well shoot. And the batteries went bloop. I was like, the sun's out. Well, we'll just scrape off that dump of snow off of them. And it was a lot of snow. Let's see if I can turn it around. Let's see. You see all that snow on that roof? That was a lot of snow on those solar panels. That's hard trying to rake them off with that snow rake. And hold on to the ladder. So you're not holding on to the ladder. Really and truly, I was just gripping it with my feet and trying to keep my legs spread wide enough to keep a good grip on the ladder. And I was like, oh, maybe there's just enough snow, it'll pad to fall and it won't hurt so bad. As long as I don't hit the roof and hit the aluminum or whatever the case may be. But it all worked out. It all worked out well. Ended up having to call a solar place and go, look, there's something, can you just walk me through it? I'm sorry, you usually talk to my husband. And he's like, well, what gauge are you looking at? And I said, it's like the fuel gauge on a car. And he's like, what gauge? And I said, it's like the fuel gauge on a car. And I said, look, I don't know anything about this. I said, I know it's loud in here. He's like, well, walk me through these numbers. So we got it figured out. We'll see how well this works. I'm supposed to holler back at him here after a while. Then I'm not going to do laundry, I can tell you that. I'm going to go in there and see if got enough juju on the batteries. I can do some homework. So it sure is a pretty day today. Let's see if I can find, there's the sunshine. Look at that beautiful sunshine. It sure is pretty. All this beautiful snow. I love how the sun glistens. Ooh, look at that. It just glistens off, the sun glistens off the snow. I call it winter glitter. Look at the beautiful winter glitter. Let's see if I don't fall down. I had to get my high boots on. This snow is so thick. It was crazy. Just crazy. Took me probably 20 minutes this morning, if not more, to dig out the car. I'm gonna go ahead and shut that generator door. while I was in there, I tightened up the doorknob. Lord of mercy, the doorknob was almost off. It's like, holy smokes, there's Nor. I haven't unburied her. Wait till I get out here. You see, oh, that feels so good. We're at the point where the sun, you can actually feel, oh, the sun has heat. It feels so amazing. So amazing. There's no words to describe how awesome, after all winter, when you actually reach the point where you actually get a little heat off the sun. It's just fabulous. Let's see. I'm trying to show you around. It's beautiful the way it just glistens off the snow. The one thing I think every time I come out and the snow's this deep, and I go, man, if we actually have a moose that's out here, I wouldn't be able to outrun it anyway. It's just an illusion. But I was like, man, I really wouldn't be able to outrun it because the snow is too deep. And then one thing Alaska's taught me is always count your steps. Always know how many steps you have. Because one time you'll have 4 steps. The next time you come out, you'll have 2 steps. And you better know how many steps you got and where they're at, because it's sure going to hurt when you misjudge it. Anyway, I miss all y'all. I'm going to have a temporary divorce from this off-grid living, because between all this solar panel work and this generator work and doing the laundry yesterday, and then getting stuck in the driveway today, I'm wore out. I'm done. I miss y'all.